Hello, how are you? I have a few topics that I want to talk about this afternoon, and I hope that I'm going to be able to keep it succinct and concise because, as usual, I'm in between meetings and I need to make it back to the office. The number one thing that I want to talk about is a report on my progress on the 17 weeks Journey to Wellness program that I've enrolled in, my own program at the Wellness Palette. I have finally reached a 10-pound mark. As a matter of fact, I am at 11.5 pounds released. So yes, drum roll, trumpets, and all kinds of happiness. It took me a while because those of you who have been following the progress journey week by week and looking at the videos know that I was actually on a plateau for about 3 weeks. The scale would just not budge, and I had to tweak a number of things in order to see, what would get me to finally, reach the 10 pounds. And I was very surprised, very pleasantly surprised to see that I actually am at 11.5 pounds released. One of the first things kind of happened by accident. Those of you who have been following know that I've recently gotten some Invisalign, and it is quite a hassle to have to eat because I have to first remove them, eat, brush my teeth, clean them, and put them back. And so impulsive eating has been cut tremendously, because now I think twice, 3 times, 4 times before I want to eat something, because I'm really thinking, okay, is it worth me having to stop what I'm doing right now to do all this? I can no longer just snack while I'm eating. So which brings me to the point that for a very long time I had prescribed to the notion that I needed to eat between my meals. Like I thought for a fact that, for my body, that I needed to snack in between my meals. And lo and behold, not having to do that anymore, because I have been wearing those Invisalign and I no longer snack in between, I'm realizing that not only am I not hungry as much as I thought I was going to be in between meals, it seems like I was eating my snacks out of habit more than out of hunger. And I also realized that it has done wonders for my metabolism, because somehow I am eating less. I am thus cutting the calories, but I am eating better, copious meals, and it's working fine for me. One of the things that's a little scary for people who work with the Wellness Palette is letting go of the old notions that they had about what they must do, what works for them, and what they had been prescribed all along. And so the Wellness Palette actually encourages you to explore and to question and to try things and to figure things out by trial and error, and to actually establish a pattern that's individually scripted to you, so that you can see what actually works for you. And guess what? At this stage of my life, I'm not saying that it was never the case, but at this stage of my life, at 45 years old, I do not necessarily need to snack in between my meals, especially since my meals have been a lot better balanced and a lot more copious and satisfying. So that's something to talk about. The other thing is, this week I actually found out, again, it was more like a rediscovering. I was eating a little bag of plantain chips. I actually really enjoy eating plantain chips, and I thought that, hey, a little snack, picked it up. It was a medium-sized bag, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna snack on that. Well, I did not take the time to read the label. I very quickly saw 140 calories, and I was like, okay, cool, no problems. About 3/4 through it, I decided to take a look and see, what the value was for those plantain chips. That little medium-sized bag of plantain chips had 5 servings in there. So it was not 140 calories, it was 140 calories times 5. And I had already gone through 3/4 of the bag. So needless to say that it's a reminder, it was a reminder for myself, and I'm choosing to remind you as well, that it's very important to read the labels and to really see what portions look like and what the calorie associated with those portions are. And it's better to know before you sit down and eat the food than it is to find out 3/4 of the way that you are getting far more calories than you anticipated. So I mean, the good thing is that because I was able to see that, I actually I eat slow, so it took me, that's why I was like getting full, and I was like, whoa, what's going on? So that's the other thing too. Remember to eat slowly, to digest your food, to enjoy your food and whatnot. Now, there was a question that was posed to me this week, and I want to address it. I probably should have done another video, and I may still revisit the issue in a separate video, but I at least wanted to touch on it this time so that people can get the answer if you're choosing to watch the whole thing. Subscribing to a very low calorie diet is actually detrimental to your health. A number of things can happen, and that is because I was speaking to somebody this week, and they were saying, you know, even though they were happy for me that I had lost the 11.5 pounds on my 17-week journey, which ends in about, I want to say 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at the date. They were like, yeah, but other diets, you know, you can lose far more weight in less time. And, you know, so I have to explain one more time that losing 1 to 2 pounds a week is actually the recommended rate, because it is healthy, it is sustainable, and it is attainable. But I guess I'm also going to have to support that by giving you the opposite information, by giving you the information that tells you why losing it far faster is not necessarily the best thing for you. And I made a few notes so that I wouldn't forget. But number one, we know that there's a high risk of developing gallstone, okay? Number two, it actually depletes you of your lean body mass, which in turn kind of slows down your metabolism. Number three, as women, this is important for you, it actually can also deplete you of bone mass. And because women tend to diet far more than men, that's one of the reasons why we see a lot of cases of osteoporosis in women. So yes, you can lose a lot more weight a lot faster by lowering your calorie intake very, 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 very low, but it's not necessarily the best thing for you, because although you'll be losing the weight fast, you are more likely to gain it back because you would have messed with your metabolic rate. And so that's one of the reasons why when people lose the weight fast, they will automatically, when they stop on that low fat diet and they return to regular eating, they will gain the weight far faster, and they will even sometimes gain far more than they've actually lost. And it's bad for you both physiologically and psychologically, because it's a cycle that then makes you feel like you're a failure, then makes you feel like you failed. And it really was never about your failure and your success. It was more about the fact that this was never meant to be something sustainable, and therefore you were using the wrong tool to try to get to a healthy weight and maintain a healthy weight. So I'm going to keep it short. So much for short, right? I'm going to cut it short, I should say, right here, because I have to head back. But it is a beautiful day. The weather had changed. It has finally dropped. There's not as hot. And I think we're getting into one of my favorite seasons, if we can say season in Miami, one of the my favorite seasons in the year. I just finished my lunch, but I actually took a nice walk during my lunch, so that was nice. So try to get as much physical activity as possible throughout your day. Remember that even though they say, you know, 30 minutes a day, an hour a day, depending on your age, your activity level and whatnot, you can break it down into 10-minute increments, because it's far better than nothing at all. So as usual, to your health and mind, if you want to share any of the information that you've heard in this video with somebody else, please feel free to do so. If you'd like to hear more information like this, feel free to subscribe to the channel. It's Kat's Wellness Journey, and that's the K @S Wellness Journey. I always welcome your feedback. I love your support. I thank you for cheering me on, and I will be back soon with some more information, and probably to expand a little bit more on that last bit of information that I provided today, just in case there are questions. So I'll be on the lookout for those. Talk to you soon. Enjoy this day.